All right.
Gibraltar.
Is this going well?
Gibraltar.
Gibraltar hardware.
Gibraltar. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just testing it. Gibraltar.
I had a character in World of Warcraft named Gibraltar.
Wouldn't know what Gibraltar means.
I know it's a place.
Gibraltar.
What does that mean?
I'm just trying to work on my alliteration. Gibraltar.
No, I don't. That's not an alliteration. That's just repeating the same word.
My repetition. Gibraltar. What is alliteration? Is that
it's like two of the same. I don't know if it has to start with the same letter, or if it's just the same sound.
I got you. This is
like Peter Parker.
Okay, I got you.
Or
I don't know why. I should have known. I feel like they taught us that in 3rd grade. I don't know. I didn't know that. Jesus Christ.
I'm a sucker for alliteration.
Off to a great start. Oh my God.
Salud.
Just 2 bros drinking water. You know?
Shirtless.
Yeah, dude. Just 2 shirtless dudes drinking water.
Dude, it's been so fucking hot out.
I
can't stand it.
It's been a little scary. I got locked out of my me and my old man got locked out of my place in Maryville yesterday. And it was
fuck.
Dude, it was bad. It was like we were locked out there for like an hour, and
fuck that.
And our car keys were in there too, so we couldn't even sit in our car. Like,
what'd you do?
I called the locksmith and just
got
it done, and then I had them put it on my tab. Apparently, I've got like a really big bill built up at the glass and lock place.
Yeah, I didn't know you could have a tab for a locksmith.
I've had a lot of windows break. Like, college was kind of wild, man. I was surprisingly like a lot of broken windows. Like, I don't want to go into the specifics, but there's been some like scandalous incidents with like windows breaking in my house, and just locks fucking up and just old doors and whatnot. But I'm not worried about that, man. You know what's like? I'll tell you what I got to complain about though. You want like?
All right, yeah.
You can just let me like
let's hear it.
Soapbox for a little bit, man. I'm upset with like I try to stay positive, but these are some trying times.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm right now. I'm upset more than anything. Above all, like, you know, corruption and injustice. Well, this definitely applies to injustice, but more than anything, I'm worried about misremembering history, man. Because I gotta be honest, like I hear about, and this is because of a lot of things, and like and everybody's to blame for it, because we're all kind of doing it. Like a lot of people will talk about the Mandela Effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Nelson Mandela spent 23 years in prison, and
he died in prison.
And during that time, South Africa came to collectively understand that he died in prison, and everybody just accepted it. To the point where when he got out, shit, man, is like he's fucking. They're like, what the fuck?
So how did that happen? Were they, or like, was the government feeding the people misinformation about that, or was it just a rumor?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
And that's what I'm getting to. That's what bugs me. A lot of people, when
that's kind of what's going on here.
When they talk about the Mandela Effect, they act like it's something like just out of nowhere that just happens. But fucking, we do it to ourselves. Mm-hmm. We do it to ourselves for a lot of reasons. So when I hear about shit, like when I hear about people, like I know that people right now are like tearing down statues and all that stuff, and like, you know, I don't mind fucking tearing down statues like Robert E. Lee or something like that, but like I have a problem with is what we're doing is like denying history.
How do you mean?
Look, think of it like this. People are pissed off, right? They're pissed off.
Yeah.
And they have a right to be pissed
Justifiably
off.
so.
Like, they have a right to be pissed off. Shit's fucked up. We got cops being fucking scumbags, shooting black people, fucking going nuts. But it seems like a lot of people online, and I don't have social media or nothing, but it seems like a lot of people are trying to disavow, like, they're trying to disavow history, man. You know what I mean? I think like they want to change.
What do you mean by that?
They want to change the name of George Washington University. They want to tear down every single statue of anybody that's been associated with slavery. Like, you know what I mean? Fuck, man, this country was built by slavery, and it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Like and here's the thing: when you hear me say this, you take it out of context. It's gonna sound like I'm just saying, oh, well, fucking. Let the South stand. We should be able to fly the Confederate flag. We should be able to
stand for the anthem.
We should be able to chill out by Robert E. Lee and the Thomas Jefferson fucking statues or whatever. But it goes both ways, because I was listening to some lady talk on NPR, and she was talking about how she went to Mississippi because she was a black woman and she
That's
wanted to see.
They have the state flag that's like pretty much the Confederate flag, right?
I don't
Is
fucking
that
know.
Mississippi?
I don't fucking know. A lot of fucking states still have flags that have the Confederate flag, which is weird because like a lot of states change their flags like all the time. But don't let me get off topic here. So this woman wanted to go to Mississippi to see old slave plantations because she wanted to explore her family history. Because if you're black in America, you're in the disadvantage of you have to accept the fact that like if you, like you know your ancestors dating back to the 1800s, 1700s,
You don't really
were
know
slaves.
your ancestry at all.
Yeah, it's fucked up. But she wanted to get an idea of it. So she went to Mississippi and she visited old slave plantations. And what she described were these immaculately contained mansions with all the shit, all the antebellum shit still perfectly held intact. All the old fucking beds, all the chinaware, and all that stuff. And then when she asked to see the slave quarters, where those would have been, she was told, "Oh no, we got rid of those. We paved those over. We built the parking lot where those were." Like that's the same shit. That's denying history.
That does make that is kind of the same thing, but well, like I guess just with the statues.
Well, that's a
lot of those statues were put up in the Jim Crow era.
Yeah, and they're also they're glorifying not only people that in the Confederacy, but people that were fucking did some horrible things.
Yeah, but I do get what you're saying
but
though. We need to acknowledge that these people existed.
Well, we need to acknowledge history as it is. We can't act like we're built on diamond absolutes. You know what I mean? Like no fucking country was established without bloodshed. No nation was established without struggle and without hardship and without horrible things being done to certain groups of people. Like, just I don't fucking know, and it's nowhere close. Like I've just been pissed off. Like I've also been pissed off by cops. Like this is just another thing. Like I've just kind of come to realize like tribalism is a very fucking real thing, and we all fall prey to it no matter how much we want to act like we don't. And the cops are they're their own tribe, they're their own fraternity. Like
that's a good way to put it.
To them, like it's us versus them. Like Black Flag had this song called Police Story, and there's a great lyric in that song. They hate us, we hate them, nothing's gonna change. And that kind of just blunt, kind of apathetic way of looking at it, I think that's the only way to look at cops at this point. Because man, it's like they're not gonna change. To them, it's us versus them. That's the way they see it. They have what's called the thin blue line.
But that's also how we see it.
Yeah, but what's worse, man? Like we have we.
Well, it's like the chicken and the egg. Like I'm sure it started. I mean, I don't know anything about the history of the police force really or how it started, but I'm assuming it started as probably just some sort of like town militia thing, and then as we got more advanced, there was a bigger separation between the civilians and then the police force, and like the police have been militarized pretty recently.
That's a good point. I should actually go and
so it's like
I'm complaining about a lot of stuff that I'm not very educated on. I'm sure I'm coming off as kind of ignorant.
I mean, it's fine.
But okay, but here's the thing. Like,
did the police overstep their role first, or did the people revolt against the police?
Or did the people create a situation where we needed police?
Or did the police create a situation where we needed the police?
I think you can look at what happened in you look at what happened.
Would the Joker be around if Batman was dead?
Okay, look, here's the thing. Look, police have their own no snitching policy. They call it the thin blue line. All right.
Okay.
Like I don't know if you're familiar. Look, if you're listening to this and you're from the Kansas City area, you've probably heard about Ryan Stokes. You heard about Ryan Stokes?
No.
Okay. He's this black dude who was out chilling in the Power and Light district, and some drunk dude, white dude, accuses him of stealing his phone. All right, and a cop he starts bagging on him, saying he stole his phone, and he yells to the cop, "Hey, this fucking dude stole my phone. This black dude stole my phone." All right, a cop confronts him, and he fucking shoots him in the back. Yeah, exactly, kills him. All right, but here's the thing: the cops, their story was the dude had a gun, he was robbing him, he was doing all that stuff. Not true. And
that's just blatant corruption.
Then one of the cops that was there that saw it happen, he came out and he said, "Hey, this is what happened. Like these cops are lying. This is what actually happened." That dude gets fired. Like he basically not.
So who the fuck is holding you accountable?
Forced out.
You just have unchecked power at that point. If it's like within your power to put someone in jail and both change the story of like how everything happened.
Yeah, it's fucked up. The exact and
That's not fair.
And it can't lead to anything great. The exact same thing happened with Chris Dorner.
I haven't heard of him either.
Okay, that's a good story. Chris Dorner was in the exact same situation. Chris Dorner was he was an Iraq War veteran. He came back to where the fuck was he a cop in?
Maybe I did hear about this.
You would have. Okay, I'm getting to why you're gonna hear about this because I can't remember where he was a cop in, but basically he worked with a. He after he got out of the military, he became a police, a local state cop or whatever the fuck, one of those things. And
like a state trooper.
I don't fucking know. I don't know how it all works. I've
got a badge and a gun.
Yeah, he's a cop, and his partner is a white lady. Like Chris Dorner is a black dude, and he watches this lady beat the shit out of this guy, out of some drug addict, and he calls her out. He reports her, and says that she's using excessive force, and
I did hear about
his
this.
bosses, they say that he broke the thin blue line, that he's a snitch, that he's not a team player. And he gets fired. So he decides to fucking wage goddamn unilateral war on the fucking cops. He kills four people, 4 police officers. He shoots a cop and his girlfriend, and then he shoots up a couple other cops. And he's a straight fucking tactician, man, because he's all over the place. He's hiding in the woods. He's got fucking machine guns.
Is he still alive?
He's throwing... No, that's where it gets crazy.
Oh.
The cops respond to this in the worst fucking way ever. They freak out because they know somebody's targeting them, so they start shooting everybody. There's 3 incidents on the exact day that Dorner shot those cops where 3 innocent bystanders got shot because they were driving a car that looked like Dorner's. Because trigger-happy cops were freaked out because they thought they were going to get killed, so they start fucking shooting people. When they finally do find Dorner, he's in a cabin, and they burn him alive. They throw fucking tear gas in there, which is a special type of tear gas that's basically known to quote unquote wink wink nod nod set the place on fire. But they didn't know that when they threw it in there. They burn him alive, and then they shoot the place to fucking smithereens just to make sure he's dead. And almost as a message that this is what happens if you cross us.
I mean, like, that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, if you want to, here's like book corner for the day. If you want to read something interesting, go look up Chris Dorner's manifesto.
Is that on the internet?
Yep.
Okay,
cool. He lays everything out. He describes his values. He talks about what he saw, what happened, his history with racism, with experiencing racism in America. Oh yeah, it was Los Angeles. He was in the LAPD. So of course, like that's what fucking happens. Like,
someone called Johnny Cochran.
And also, like, you know, Chappelle talked about it in his new special, and like the kind of quick 20-minute Corona special.
No, that wasn't the Corona special. That was the Black Lives Matter special. It was just socially distanced.
I feel like that's a statement on everything, man.
I guess it kind of was.
The virus, the world's in a fucking crazy place, and that's someone we like.
It really is.
Kind of needed to hear from. Like I trust that dude more than I trust like most fucking news people.
Let's kind of talk about that though, because I think everyone is pretty much in agreement that everyone's just like, oh, these are crazy times, but like it really is, because we had, like, on one hand we have like there's just so much shit going on. Like we have this virus which people, like, there's still a lot of people out there who just straight up don't believe in it.
Yeah, it's so, like, dude, it's so being, especially being around here, like,
like Trump didn't wear a mask in public until what, like last week.
And dude, going into all these small towns, like I went, like, there's like just nobody's wearing masks, dude. Like,
but
so
like
weird.
we have like we have all of this going on, and then like the quarantine happened, and like, you know, like a bunch of people are out of work. There's no oversight on the committee that's supposed to hand out all of the small business loans to help Corona people or Corona victims. So, you know, like, just Jared Kushner and friends make a bunch of money. And then this cop on video just chokes and kills this black dude for no reason, while 3 other police officers are just standing around like, oh yeah.
Yep. That's a powder keg, man.
And now we're just dealing with all of this stuff.
America has always just been built. America's built on a fucking keg of socio-political dynamite, dude.
I think it's only been like that since like World War II. Because in World War II, we sort of reshaped, like, women went to work and we sort of reshaped the economy to run on, like, just producing, like, stuff for the military. And then after that, like, we've, like, ever since World War II, we've always been at war so we can keep our economy moving.
Yeah, like I think that was
like because
no,
like
that's,
right
that's,
like
that is very fair, man. The military
like
industrial complex
no
is
no
that's
yeah
a thing.
that's what I'm saying.
And
Like because like right
it's
after
only
World War II, we go to was it Korea?
yeah, we go to Korea in the 50s, and then we get into Vietnam in the 60s, and then we have the
And we don't leave until like the 70s.
yeah, dude. And then we have the Gulf War, which was just like low key, but more than anything, that was just like we got in there so then we could start giving guns to like Bin Laden and stuff like that.
So we could fight him.
Yeah, so
20
we could
years
fight
later.
him later, and then that made that bitch last 20 years. So like they're only getting longer, and we're only gonna be yeah. So it's crazy. It's crazy, man.
Have you listened to the Oliver Stone Joe Rogan episode?
I watched a couple clips from it. I feel like that dude's gonna get me too. Like whenever the second,
Not Oliver Stone.
The second Rogan brought up Epstein, his face went red, and he started like immediately trying to change the subject. That's all I'm saying.
I haven't gotten to that part yet, but I'm at the part right now where he's just talking about how the economy was reshaped after World War II. And I think it's easy to observe and it makes a lot of sense. And he was saying that for the military industrial complex economy to work, you need an enemy. Like you need to always be at war. So then like there's all these false flag things going on. Like I don't remember what it was specifically, but like, oh no, yeah, we had plans to start a war with Cuba, and we were gonna blow up like a drone jetliner, like around Cuba. We were gonna blow it up and blame them to justify a war, which is pretty much like what Pearl Harbor and 9/11 and
yeah, it's like
all
it's
that,
like an act an act of violence, a mainland terrorist attack.
Yeah.
That gives us an excuse to go kick some ass, bro.
but it's completely manufactured by the U.S. government, and then we just use it as propaganda. It's like, oh, see what they're doing? It's like the weapons of mass destruction thing. Like we fucking bomb the fuck out of all these brown people because they're evil now apparently, and then like 2 weeks later, like Colin Powell's like, oh, JK, LOL.
I don't know, but like, look, that's another thing that's pissing me off, man. Like, I'm glad we're finally realizing that, like, Hollywood is run and operated by
by diddlers.
Degenerates, man. Fucking just degenerates, bro.
I watched all of the Cumtown pedophilia special.
That's why people don't want you to watch that podcast, because it's just
because they're telling the truth.
He's getting high on cocaine and talking about like
he's just going down those internet rabbit holes.
We'll talk about rampant Hollywood pedophilia, which is a problem that's always been there, but nobody's gonna fucking talk about. And anytime anybody from the industry does talk about it, they get fucking labeled as crazy. Like
the whole Chris D'Elia thing. Did you hear about him? Like he
I don't fucking know about what happened to Chris D'Elia. I could totally see Chris D'Elia being like fucking kids. Like that dude. He's
so his
you can see it in his eyes.
Dad is like a big Hollywood producer apparently.
Ooh.
So and then like he has this joke where like I'm gonna totally botch it, but pretty much he's saying like, oh yeah, like maybe there is like this giant pedophilia ring and like this whole pyramid scheme to get underage women to join this sex ring and yada yada yada. Or maybe
he's fucking sweating from the brow.
No, so like he's pretty much just like he's posing like everything that I believe to be true, and you probably do too to some extent. Like he's just like oh like what, yeah, like there's definitely like a pedophilia ring and all this stuff. Or maybe you're just bored.
Or maybe we're
like
just bored.
Like that's his joke. That's
not a joke. That's called trying to fucking avoid it.
Well, yeah, but like
that's called trying to avoid it. They all want to fucking.
That's
avoid
his
it.
way of trying to. She's like, oh, haha, see, it's big funny.
Look, man, I'm just like, I'm
big
pissed
funny
off
Hollywood-o-matic.
I'm pissed off of that shit. As long as I'm glad we got the internet, we can fucking do what we want.
We got the First Amendment right now, where I can fucking
and also
say whatever the fuck I want on here.
It's our entertainment and our information intake has been bottlenecked until now. Like before we had the fucking internet. And the internet, how we know it, how we use it, we got all our fucking information from the news and the newspaper and whatever books we just happened to fucking find out and read about, or our universities, and like
or whatever's on TV, which is
that's a bottleneck, bro.
Yeah,
you're not getting everything.
It's some super big production company who's trying to make their advertisers happy.
Getting what comes out of Hollywood, and now We have alternative media. You can listen to what you want. You can find what you want. And if you don't like it, you can fucking make your own shit. And
that's what I'm doing.
And
this is my favorite podcast to listen to, which is
fucking what? I'm fucking go listen to I'll still be go listen to Pat McAfee's podcast, dude. Go listen to or listen to I still listen to a lot of Theo Von. Like I think Theo Von's probably got my favorite podcast right now. But like Pat McAfee's great. He played for the Indianapolis Colts during the Dungy years, and he's kind of a wild ass. He lights up everybody in the NFL that smokes weed. Like it's fucking great.
They I don't know if it was the NFL or the NBA, but I think it was the NFL. Maybe it was the MLB. One fucking sports franchise or sports league, they removed marijuana from the list of like banned substances.
About goddamn time. Like who gives a shit?
It is a performance enhancing drug though, depending on how you use it.
If you do MMA, it absolutely. If you do like if you ever lifted weights when you're like really fucking baked. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
It just
you're more fluid, you're more loose, and you're not worried about pain.
You're
more focused.
For me, I like, and this is like kind of scary, but I just don't get sore.
Yeah, it's because
I'll feel it,
joints.
But yeah, I won't get sore.
Like they've got, you can go look up these studies, man. It's good for joint health. Like it's also good for your eyes. It's good for glaucoma. It gives rid of that glaucoma. Like I guarantee. I will say though, man, we're about now that like they keep making weed stronger, and it's kind of freaking me out, man, because it's getting into dangerous proportions.
That's why you just gotta not be fucking stony baloney all the time.
But look, I can already tell, like,
I'm trying very hard to turn myself into a nighttime smoker.
Look, I look back to in the 50s and 60s when it was like just all the way up to the 60s when it was like totally okay to smoke all the time. Really, all the way up until like the 80s, where it was just like everybody smoked, and it was just like a whatever thing. Everybody smoked cigarettes.
Yeah.
And
are you just waiting for like the big thing to come out with weeds? Like, oh, weed will kill you.
Well, more than anything, just like we find out about the real side effects from long-term marijuana use, at least because like when we look at the only thing we have right now is anecdotal evidence from cats like Willie Nelson and Tommy Chong who've been smoking weed their whole lives and made it to fucking 90.
Yeah, they're not gonna talk shit on it.
Yeah, but also,
smoking is bad for you. It doesn't matter what you're smoking.
Yeah, you're putting stuff into your lungs. It's got to be bad for your teeth. It's got to be bad for your skin. And and there's got to be
that's just smoking in general.
Yeah, so there's got to be, but there's eventually we're gonna find out about something, and it's but also I don't like.
Well, I think we kind of already saw the first wave of that, like with the carts.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the boof carts.
Yeah, that was they're out there giving people making people like heart palpitations or whatever, making people like lungs break or like some shit like that. They might start coughing out blood clots or something. I used to hit them shits all the time, they're really fucking fun because you take one hit and then boom, just Flavor Town. You're just done for.
Yeah, just Dunyan rings. It fucking obliterates you.
And then it's just like you think, well, I only smoked one thing, so you gotta do more because you don't feel like.
And that's the danger of taking a dab or just having like a vape pen. Because
too easy.
It is really easy because it
doesn't even smell like weed. What the fuck?
Everyone always compares weed and dabs because it's the same active ingredient. But I will say I think that you ever hit something off an e-nail?
I don't want to keep talking about all this drug shit on I know it's I know it's just weed, but I don't want to fucking.
We're already too deep. I at least want to finish this point.
But I will say, man, a lot of jiu-jitsu guys and Muay Thai people, they all like Bruce Lee smoked weed, he was big on it, and you want to talk about cats that use weed as a performance enhancing drug? Nate and Nick Diaz, the Diaz brothers, those guys smoke dope nonstop, and they're
Michael
two of the
Phelps.
Fucking, yeah, dude. There's
the man who broke the world record for most world records.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. And you know what? Good for him, man. You gotta. These are you gotta have something, and I hate the fact that like people are gonna fucking get on a high horse and like call out Michael Phelps for smoking. I mean, you sit there in your fucking cubicle
Anyone
with your double chin and your fucking Taco Bell burritos, and then you call out fucking.
You can't call out Michael Phelps. No one can.
Michael Phelps for smoking
unless
weed.
you work harder than him.
What the
which
fucking
no
shit?
one does.
Yeah, fuck that
no,
shit.
There's a very small
why are we even
group of individuals who probably work as hard or harder than Michael Phelps.
Why are we even talking about that? That was like 10 years ago. I hope Michael Phelps is still smoking big dope to this day and like swimming laps and just like living life and loving it.
Smoking mad trees.
Yeah, dude. I pray. Like,
I had an air tank full of dope smoke and I swam the English Channel.
That's a good clip, dude.
It's from an SNL clip.
Man, I've been looking at a lot of pictures of him on the plane with Epstein. And
that kind of makes me sad.
Man, he took one flight with Chris Tucker and Kevin Spacey.
Who's Chris Tucker?
He was in Rush Hour.
Oh.
He was okay. Look, Chris, he's a comedian.
No, just keep going.
He flew on Epstein's airplane with Chris Tucker.
Oh, this guy.
And Kevin Spacey, and there was like fucking 13-year-old girls on that plane with him.
Yeah, man. Have you watched the Epstein Netflix documentary yet?
Yeah, I'm watching that shit right now.
Have you seen the picture? There's one picture in there. It's like Prince Andrew is posing with like this like 14-year-old girl, and then Epstein is just like lurking in the back.
Jesus,
I'm just
Christ.
like you.
It's good. It's good we're learning about this stuff, man. Like it's good that we have access to this stuff. We can know, because that's only the tip of the fucking iceberg.
So we talked about this last week, which by the way, the reason there wasn't an episode last week is because my computer ran out of memory as we were recording this.
What were we talking about though?
We talked about so much shit last week. Like we talked about
last episode.
We talked about Jelaine, and we talked about China a lot.
Word.
Just a bunch of real shit.
Yeah, I don't fucking
probably
know.
COVID.
I don't know. Now I feel stupid for just complaining about all this stuff, because I'm just like, because I know that like I know if I look, I know if I listen back to this, I'm gonna be like, I don't fucking know what the fuck I'm talking about, because
yeah, but who really does?
I don't know.
You think Wolf Blitzer has the fucking skinny on everything that's going on?
No, he's just reading a teleprompter.
Exactly.
Like, that's what we need, man. We need teleprompters. We just need to have our thoughts. We just gotta not speak our thoughts. We just gotta have
we need Walter Cronkite
articulated for us. I don't know. I've been trying to.
Or Jon Stewart back on the Daily Show.
I definitely need to listen to more news though, because there's all kinds of crazy stuff. Like as locally, there's crazy stuff going on. Like our cops are getting militarized right before our fucking eyes. Like our mayor called in the fucking order to have the fucking goon squad brought in on some bullshit. So if you go to walk around Kansas City
Quentin
right now,
Lucas did?
The cops are on some fuck shit right now. If you're just in Kansas City, just like go look at your fucking streets. They're militarizing our police as we speak. And
I thought he was against that.
Just fucking look up. Look, man. Look up. It's because of that kid.
Come on, Mayor Q.
It's because of that kid that got shot.
Oh.
We had a kid get shot, and I'm not saying I'm saying that's horrible. I don't want no kids to get shot, but kids get shot everywhere. That doesn't mean you gotta fucking start trying to. You gotta start break out the goon squad. Start having like I don't know. I don't fucking know. I gotta stop. I gotta stop complaining. I've been. And also, I have no room to complain. I don't pay attention. Like, I haven't been even paying too much attention to the news lately. Aside from that stuff, like, I've just been watching videos of, like, people fighting. And, like, dude, I saw this really funny video of this chick trying to light a car on fire. Wait, hang on a second.
Oh, I think I saw that. Dude, and then it just, like, blows up in her face.
Yeah, dude, it's like,
yeah, I saw that.
That's the thing. I spent way too much time.
Oh, wow. What was that?
We got a poltergeist coming in.
1 second. Nah, we're good. I was able to save the file, and it didn't say I was out of memory, so that's good. Dude, let me tell you the story about that keyboard.
I'm in.
So that keyboard, if you look at the port there, or the plug-in rather,
old school keyboard.
It's a PS2 port, which does not stand for PlayStation 2.
Word.
Yeah, I had that I had that keyboard for like my whole fucking life. And then when I was at the Park Lane house, I spilled a glass of water on it. Or
nice,
no.
Nice dog.
But
that'll do it.
Or no, I think I spilled like juice on it, and I'd spilled a full glass of water on that keyboard before, and it worked fine after that. But after I spilled the juice, it stopped working.
That makes sense, man. That juice.
But then like like literally the next day, I was hanging out with my homie Sean, and I told him that my keyboard was busted. He was like, "Oh, I just got a new keyboard. If you want to take this old one I got."
That actually sounds pretty good. That sounds good coming out of the...
Yeah, man, these are nice microphones.
I dig it. Man,
I don't fuck around. We're professionals here. Both these tracks are compressed.
Beautiful. But I definitely need to I don't know. I need to stay more involved. I need to have a reason to complain. I need to go like I got to read more. I just got.
You don't want to have a reason to complain, because then you're just gonna be nitpicking things in your life. It's like, oh, why is my shoelace frayed at the end?
Yeah, facts. That's and
then no one wants to hang out with that guy.
And honestly, at least I don't just try to mansplain everything. You know what I mean? At least I don't just fucking like try to talk about some shit that I don't know. Like
mansplain.
But I do have like.
Welcome to locker room talk.
But I do want to know shit. Like that's why I try to stay reading. And I mean, I've told you about the book I'm reading right now about the Tibet about the Dalai Lama.
Oh, did you finish your Malcolm X book?
Yeah, I finished Malcolm X's autobiography.
Tell me about that, because we were talking about Malcolm a lot on the Lost episode.
Well, it's fucking depressing, dude. It's just you want to talk about injustice and just the fucking horrors of groupthink. Like, you look about what Malcolm X was in his life. For most of his career as a speaker, as a leader, he was representing a whole nother leader, Elijah Muhammad, the founder of the Nation of Islam, which is one of the very first large en masse Islamic communities and orders in the United States, and it was specifically for black people. And like, they really weren't like they weren't like traditional Muslims. They didn't follow all the beliefs of Muslims in the Middle East. They just carried like, don't eat pork, don't pray to Mecca 5 times a day, and like all that stuff. But like they got a lot of it wrong. And also, they were very heavy. They leaned in very heavy to the whole white people are the devil, and
all that.
Yeah, like and that's
honestly, I do believe that.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll talk about but here regardless of the values, Malcolm X was a powerful figure, and he spoke. He called out the hypocrisies of Western culture, and he called for black pride, and he had a lot of really solid ideas that weren't being posed by other civil rights leaders, because at the end of the day, they weren't like, they were just very dangerous ideas.
Do you think taking pride in your race or your heritage is important, or do you think it's dangerous?
What? It's fucking important. You just gotta not think about it too much and not get mad at other people for being proud of their heritage and culture, and not get offended by it.
But do you think it's
like what the fuck? I don't know.
I think it's pretty easy to be prideful of your race, to be if I said I'm proud, if I said I'm proud to be Norwegian, I don't think it's too hard to go from the mindset I'm proud to be Norwegian to go.
The problem is it's like being proud of being white is just not cool. Like,
no, okay, no, but what I'm trying to say is
not that it's a bad thing, but it's just
it's not a far leap from I'm proud of insert race here to my race is better than the other races. It's not like that. That kind of thinking isn't very far from each other. I know it's not a competition.
It's just about being.
But I'm just saying, it's not. Yeah. It isn't cool to be proud of being white, because you just look like a white supremacist.
And I don't know. Okay, but getting back to Malcolm X. So the real travesty of Malcolm X is, at the end of the day, the Nation of Islam was kind of a fucked up organization, and there's a lot of hypocrisies in it. And Malcolm X was so devout and so committed to the cause of Elijah Muhammad because it saved him. That teaching saved him when he was in prison, and it led him to the path of Islam. But once he finally found out that Elijah Muhammad was kind of being a scumbag, and he was fucking his secretaries, and he wasn't practicing what he preached, and then he started getting suspicious. Then he started doing his own thing, And also, there's a lot of bitterness because Elijah Muhammad didn't like that Malcolm X was becoming a well-known representative of the community than he was. So he started trying to prime people to try to kill him. And Malcolm X, he made the decision to separate himself from that. He made no money. Like, the Nation of Islam made, like, a lot, like, millions. It made Elijah Muhammad a very rich man. Malcolm X...
Were they a church?
Yeah, dude. It was a mosque.
Yeah,
it was like a whole thing. And
Stupid question. Come on.
But here's the thing. Don't like, at the end of the day, they were much more of like a kind of a political organization, though.
Yeah.
Like, when you really look, because they're trying to organize Black Americans, and they did very effectively, thanks to Malcolm X. And so when he left, he made his pilgrimage to Mecca, and he barely was able to afford it. He had to take a loan from his sister to do it. But he made his pilgrimage to Mecca, and being there seeing all these different types of people, white people, Asians, all these different Muslims united as brothers, it totally changed his whole perspective on race. Like, he still believed in, like, the separation of race in America and, like, giving black people the opportunity to go back to Africa and reparations and all that stuff. But then he came back to America a totally changed person, and he decided to change his focus away from just, like, unilateral war against whitey towards Black nationalism, Black pride, and here's the real kicker: Black economic independence. Now,
so what would that mean?
It means Black people having their own business, Black people getting reparations, Black people making something for themselves as opposed to just like taking handouts from the white man. And that was a very scary idea to the United States government, who was following him every step of the way with everything that he did, and the Nation of Islam, because half of the followers from the Nation of Islam came there because of Malcolm X. So when he changed and started his own organization, Muslim Mosque Incorporated, he took a lot of the Nation of Islam members with him. So Elijah Muhammad and his new crony Louis Farrakhan, who's still alive today and is still the leader of the Nation of Islam, they started making these speeches that were basically encouraging people to kill Malcolm X. And the whole time this was going on, the FBI had several informants inside the Nation of Islam, and supposedly one of them was there on the day that he got shot. Like, during this time of his life, Malcolm X, several attempts were made on his life by members of the Nation of Islam. Malcolm X fully accepted that he was going to die. That's even the last page of the book are his regrets, his thoughts of his accomplishments, his thoughts on God and what he's leaving behind, and more than anything, in acknowledgement that he's probably going to die. And he did.
Is this an autobiography?
Yeah, it was an autobiography that was dictated to Alex Haley.
Interesting.
And he did die. Like, it was like he gave a what do you call it? He had a service or some speech he was doing at one of his mosques, and 3 dudes came out and shot him, like, from the Nation of Islam.
Ugh.
And what gets more suspect is immediately people started, like, trying to, obviously there's a lot of people there that, like, tried to stop him. And as soon as the gunman ran out, like, a cop car happened to conveniently be there to pick up 2 of them, arrest them, quotation marks. And I think the 3 guys that killed Malcolm X, like, they're still in prison. But the truth is, like, they were, like, it was the organization that got them to do it. And, like,
yeah.
Louis Farrakhan's still out. He's still out there, like, preaching his whole fucking thing, and, like, I'm pretty sure he endorsed Donald Trump. But
Jesus Christ,
which is very,
the guy who's trying to ban Muslims from coming into the country,
which is very ironic because, like, yeah, I don't need to explain it, but that's so tragic. And like, Malcolm X left all of his, like, he died broke, and he had fucking 4 kids, and that's just a travesty. Like, you think of all of that work that guy did his whole life, and, like, what matters is the legacy and the story, because that dude's life was a fucking movie.
The message.
Like, if you want to talk about somebody's, like, life, somebody absolutely reformed, someone who was going down a route that led him to hell, and he found salvation.
He turned himself around.
And he preached that salvation. Like, that's powerful. And also a person who's just a genuine idealist, and he died by those ideals. You don't see that anywhere. And people like that. That's why in America, like, our media has, like, tried to spin a narrative that paints those people as dangerous and dangerous to look at, because they don't want us to learn about people. Like, they don't want us to learn about him. They don't want us to learn about Che Guevara. They don't want us to know about people that were idealists and that died by those ideals. And Malcolm X wasn't, he wasn't a fucking perfect human being. He did some bad stuff like in his childhood when he had to survive, when he was on the streets of fucking New York. But like, if anything, that's proof of that it was the circumstances that put him there. Like, and he made something of himself. So I don't know, but now I'm reading. After I finished that, I read another volume of Sin City, the comic book, which is pretty good. And then I started reading this book called 7 Years in Tibet, which is it was written by a German dude who was a mountaineer and a skier, just an adventurous.
Sounds really German.
Yeah. But here's the thing: he went into he decided to try to climb the Himalayas in India.
Fuck yeah.
And he tried to climb and this is in like the early 30s or like late 30s. So right around the time the war was about to start, but he didn't even know about the war because while all that shit was boiling up, he was climbing the Himalayas. But war hit. He's German, so he gets thrown into an Indian prison camp.
Fuck.
And it doesn't discourage him at all. He spends 2 years just breaking out, making a run for it, getting caught, brought back. Finally, he breaks loose. He makes the trek through the Himalayas and he crosses into Tibet, which is a neutral region. And basically, he spends 7 years just exploring Tibet, all these unexplored areas that no European has ever been to before, all these tribal villages where they're living off like barley and they're just walking yaks all over the mountains and all this shit. And then finally, he gets to I don't know what the fucking name of the town's called, the village, and he spends like another like 3 or 4 years living and becoming good friends with the man that would eventually become the Dalai Lama in the 50s.
Dang.
Yeah. And
that's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I haven't even gotten there yet, but even then it's crazy. Just reading about what this guy went through. It's like that's someone, just people like that fascinate me. People that just have an unquenchable thirst for adventure. Someone who's so strong-willed that he's not going to be discouraged by because if I was in that position, if I got thrown into a fucking prison camp, I would
in a foreign country.
Yeah, dude, where you don't even know the language, and the whole time he never stopped reading, he never stopped learning, he never stopped exercising, and he by 2 years in, he was fluent in Tibetan, and he was creating maps, and he was doing all this crazy shit, and it's just that stuff's inspiring.
Is Tibetan its own language?
I don't fucking know. For all I know, they could have their own name, but this is just some European dude who just had no idea what the fuck the place was.
Oh yeah, German.
They just call it, but so that's so. If you want my book corner recommendations for this week, go read Chris Dorner's Manifesto, and go read 7 Years in Tibet by Heinrich Herrera. Solid reads.
As for my recommendation, Developing Dexterity by Mitchell Peters.
Another drum book.
It's a pretty good book.
If you got the drums, you playing them. Playing them.
The Tao of Wu as well. I've been reading this book. I was reading some of it yesterday, and he was telling this little story of how it was supposed to be how the Wu-Tang Clan saved Method Man's life, but
probably did, dude.
Well, no, it did, but it was just this really really small event that happened. RZA, his girlfriend, their baby, Ghost, and then a bunch of other people. They were renting this really I think it was a 2-bedroom place, and it was the first address for the Wu-Tang production, whatever the fuck. And Method Man was walking to this corner store one day, and then RZA was thinking, he's okay, we need to have him be one of the core members. So he calls him over as he's walking to this corner store. And then he's in the doorway, and then he leaves and turns around and goes towards RZA. And then as soon as he walks back over there, some dudes from Brooklyn came up, and they're in Staten Island. It's and then some dudes from Brooklyn just come up, and they were looking for Method Man, but they just shot up the convenience store.
Shit. Damn.
So it saved his life.
Damn, meth. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, he refers to him as meth in the book sometimes, which really threw me off initially.
Meth. Just he calls him.
RZA's
RZA's
talking about wisdom, mathematics, and meth. What the fuck?
That's luck, dude. That's
luck.
I could definitely see that as being divine grace.
Oh yeah. He's saying it's all fate.
Yeah, that's
He's also talking about how meditation can be pretty much anything. like you don't have to like just sit or lie down. Like he said that
it can be exercise. It
no,
can
yeah,
be,
yeah, that's what he was talking about. He said like he would like I don't remember what neighborhood it was, but like somewhere in Staten Island, like he would just go on like these like several mile long walks every day, and he and he said that he would talk to himself out loud while he was doing it, which like just to imagine
he's one
like
of those dudes.
like a like just a black dude walking around New York talking to himself in the 90s.
Yeah, I hate to say
like,
that's a pretty common sight in any city you go to.
Well,
like, there's gonna be some crazy dude. Like I
was just thinking like that's just so risky. Cause fucking anyone could just be like, yeah, there's this crackhead walking around, and like he's just get arrested or killed, and yeah, that does happen.
I respect people like that though, man.
I do. No, yeah. After I read that,
they just don't give a fuck. Like
I really want to do that.
Next time you see someone out in the city just doing that, like just understand that is someone that is in their own world and they do not give a fuck.
Exactly.
Like,
as long as you're aware of your inner and outer self, it's meditation. It's what the RZA said.
Word. I definitely think I definitely believe in that in meditation through like I definitely believe like practicing music if you can turn that into a form of meditation.
Oh, absolutely.
And cooking and cleaning and exercising.
Anything where you're aware of your inner self and what you're also doing.
Yeah, and
you just got to be thoughtful about things.
And it's also I think a lot of it's like putting your mind into that activity. Because like
definitely.
When you get good at something, when you get good at playing an instrument, it's almost like you're not really thinking about it. It's like, you just start doing it. And
exactly.
you feel it.
It's like a language that you just learn how to speak. And I kind of wish I had a better, like, I guess, palette for melody. Because, I'm not like an expert drummer, I would say. Like, I'm still like learning shit every day, which
that's good.
Anyone should be if you want.
If
you want to get good at anything.
The second you think you're the fucking you fucking mastered it, like you're just gonna start sucking.
But
ass.
like melody, melody can be really hard for me to come up with sometimes. Like I can do it. It just takes me a little bit. But like drumming, like it's just so fluid for me. Like I can just do it and not think about it.
I'm gonna pop my toes into this microphone.
Ooh, that sounds like a good idea. You got those and one socks?
Right, yeah, I was like, yeah. It ain't happening.
Maybe this other foot.
Ooh. Nice. It's good ASMR, dog.
I was supposed to do an ASMR project for one of Alex's classes once.
That's cool.
And then I just never did it. And
what were you gonna do? Were you gonna do like rain sounds or something like that?
I was gonna have I was gonna record the sound of a Dom drawing with a pencil.
Oh, that's nice. That's definitely relaxing sounding, like pencils.
But instead, he let me do like this completely other project. I just recorded drums.
Word.
Which
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so glad I don't got it. I turned in my last paper for one of my online classes today. Like I'm so glad to be fucking done doing school.
If they go all online,
I feel so bad for kids that got to do that, man. If
they go all online, I'm gonna fucking finish my degree like from my bedroom.
I mean, you do you, man. That's to me. That sounds.
That's just me.
To me, that sounds fucking horrible. If
it does. It does fuck everyone up.
At least choose like, because like I'm talking to a couple people like that are.
You can drop some names if you want. I can cut them out.
No, dude, like the point is, some people that are going to be freshmen at like major universities, and what they're telling them to do. You want to talk about college being a fucking scam? What they're telling them to do is to move all their shit into their dorm, and then just not live there for a semester. So they're still paying for the dorm. Their shits are still.
They're still charging them for room and board.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude.
It's
a fucking KU's doing this. It's a fucking scam. So like
in the words of Hannibal Buress, that's a passive burglary.
That's a passive. Right on. Jesus, I don't know.
I watched Miami Nights.
You watched that? That shit's funny. I fucked with that.
I think it's my least favorite Hannibal special, honestly.
That's funny.
I
like when he talks about 2 Chainz wanting the Bentley truck. So he's like he brings up deadass brings up every lyric where 2 Chainz like prays to God he gets a Bentley truck. Like I love that. So it's definitely like the substance is a little less jokes and more like it's talking shit.
It's
but
like I love Hannibal. Yeah, it's funny, but like I was listening to that, like it's just I like his stand up more, and that didn't really feel like a stand up special as much.
Yeah, I feel you.
But like I listened to after that I listened to Animal Furnace.
That one's funny.
That shit is hilarious.
I also like the one, I don't remember what it was, but I like the one where he talked about like acting with a baby. And he said he's like babies can't act. He's like fuck babies. Just like I can't remember.
You know how insignificant babies are in acting? Okay, so in Breaking Bad, they use like 3 or 4 different babies for Holly. Just throughout the show, it's like never the same baby.
I would have never noticed that, man.
It's just such a it's just.
That's because babies can't act, dude. They don't fucking know they could ruin a whole scene and start fucking crying and shit.
All right, don't cry.
Yeah, it's probably fucks up
for
kids.
10 minutes.
That probably fucks up kids'
All right,
lives.
You need to not cry for 30 seconds and then start crying really hard.
I was about to say, man, we don't talk about that with the scenes of the babies. Are they fucking poking that baby? Are they making that baby cry? That's like. That's kind of fucked up. Once again, Hollywood's fucked up, dude.
The first scene I can think of, because I just live in the Breaking Bad universe.
What is it?
It's like when Skylar's trying to get into Walt's condo, and she like calls the locksmith. She's like, "Oh, the guy like took my purse and my ID." And, like she's got the crying baby.
Yeah.
Like, do you think they actually made that baby cry?
Probably, dude. They got a tight shooting schedule. They got to make it happen. You know what I mean? They probably.
What do they do?
Smack it a little bit. Just.
All right, and action.
Yeah, you know what I mean. They
just slap the fuck out of that baby.
Dude, they start poking his toes with like a thumbtack. Like they do something fucked up. Like I said, man, Hollywood's fucked. I don't care what nobody says. We need to.
I'm a big Hollywood director. I gotta make all this
money. We gotta make these babies cry for these movies. For the people.
Man.
We're doing this for the people. And then like
they actually wanted to film that show in L.A., but Albuquerque was cheaper.
Good, man.
I think Albuquerque also gives it a lot more.
Yeah,
like,
it gives
character.
it character. The you know, when you think about it in a show like that, like the setting really is the character. The desert.
That show would not have been the same without the desert.
It wouldn't have been a western.
It's quasi-western.
It's a modern western.
It's what Wikipedia says.
You know, like
pseudo-western, quasi-western. It used to say quasi, and then changed it to pseudo.
Okay.
I like the word quasi more than pseudo.
Yeah, word.
Quasi-pseudo.
Quasi is gonna. It's gonna
be a good producer name.
It's gonna get on that list of hate words.
Quasi-pseudo.
Yeah, they're not gonna let you say quasi no more.
Quasi.
You're gonna be like, are you calling this? You calling me quasi? Like I don't fucking
Did you just say gay?
Yeah, it's like
the proper nomenclature is homosexual American.
I don't fucking know.
You can't be gay in other countries if you're a homosexual American.
Man, you think it's hard to be gay in America? Go to fucking go to the what's that one fucking country with
Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, that's true. Go to Saudi Arabia.
I think they just granted women like independence, pretty much.
Pretty much. How much independence could they possibly?
It was some big thing I saw. Like Saudi Arabia did something with women.
Maybe they'll let them drive with their husband in the car or something.
Maybe that's what it was.
You know what I mean? Like I can't imagine they're gonna like.
AlJazeera.com. When you search Saudi Arabia, it says, "Is Saudi Arabia pushing itself into a nuclear trap?"
I don't know.
I fucking hope not.
It's a lot of money over there, dog. Like they can afford to live like that. They can afford to live where they can still fucking treat women like shit. Like they got.
Or no,
there's some crazy bullshit going on over there.
A court in Saudi Arabia has ruled in favor of a woman who is on trial for living and traveling on her own to the kingdom's capital.
Good God!
Without her father's permission.
On her own.
Without her father's permission.
No permission from the man of the house. Like I'm surprised she ain't dead. They got fucking. You know what I mean? That's some scandalous shit right there.
Jesus Christ. Do you imagine having to ask your parents' permission to go do anything?
Can you imagine being a woman? We gotta stop this, dude. I can't keep talking. I'm just gonna keep saying dumb shit.
That's all good.
What time is it? Like how long have we been doing it?
It's 2:53. We've been going for about 54 minutes.
I'm good.
Give or take.
I'm good with that, man.
We did have that little bit in there where it was really, really staticky. I don't know what happened with that.
That's all. I've just hit my limit. I can't.
These dog shit Amazon basic XLR cables.
Dude, I'm about to go back home and watch some. Like I watched. They had the third Fight Island night last night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean Robert Whitaker fought Darren Till, and dude, like I don't know what to tell you. Like I now kind of like it better. It's a different experience watching fights without a crowd, man. Cause like it's just.
Can you hear like the punching more?
You hear the punching. You hear
like the impacts.
You hear the breathing. You hear their corners yelling at each other. Like these two old Brazilian dudes fought, and like, dude, the place got really loud just from their corners just yelling Portuguese at them, dude. It was wild.
I think what they should do is they should.
The announcers sometimes have to whisper into the mic so the fighters don't hear them saying shit because they might say like, okay, Darren Till's corner just told him to blah blah blah, but they want to make it to where Robert Whitaker doesn't. It's absurd.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got you.
It's so absurd, and it's kind of brilliant.
I think they should have like a little league size crowd. Like they just got like 1 or 2 sets of bleachers.
Maybe. I mean, like it's got enough excitement. It's got their corners. It's still got the ring girls. They got the judges. They got the
ring girls.
Fuck yeah, they still got the ring girls.
That's funny. I thought that was just a Hollywood thing.
No, dude, the fights have always had that shit. Everybody and it's strange. UFC is.
Are they
like,
they're like
bikinis? They're holding the fucking
yeah.
card. You gotta start. You gotta come to the next fucking fight, man. You gotta start watching these fights. Like you'd like.
I gotta come to the next fight.
We'll watch the next fight at my place, man. It'll be a good time. But like, I got HD 4K. Like you can see every time a cut opens up on one of their heads, you just see it. Like you see the gash. Like it's
you
good.
can see the plasma within the blood,
bro. Yeah, you can see
the plasma, the platelets,
you see all that shit. You start
red
watching
and white blood cells, the oxygen. I just needed to prove to myself I remember what blood is made of.
Keep it real.
That's all that was.
Watching porn on the TV is also fucking crazy, dude.
That's a slippery slope.
You get yeah, no, and like whenever I was doing that at my old place, like I'd leave my windows open, I'd be watching pornos, and like the mailman would like walk by like while I just got like some chick like it's like gagging us. Turn this shit off, man. I gotta stop talking.
Goodbye everybody. Thank you for listening.